Hi everybody, how's everybody doing? Today is Friday, May 16th, 2025. I hope everyone has been doing well these last few weeks since I've been on. I wanted to come on today and show everyone that I finished the next Layette set that I needed for the unknown gendered grandbaby due beginning of September. But first, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who keeps coming back to my channel and seeing all the shenanigans I've been up to. And I wish I could get on here sooner and more often, but between work and everything else, anyways, I won't keep you too long. I've had this done since like the 12th, the day after Mother's Day, and I had every intention of getting on here, but I went down a kind of a rabbit hole of trying to get something done around the house, and then it rolls into another thing, and then next thing you know, I'm out of time and the house isn't quiet anymore. So it's like 7:30 in the morning. So I wanted to get this done. Where my area is, I share with the washer and dryer, so I need to flip things around. So I figured, let me get this done quick, show you what's been happening. And I have started a new project. It's small because we've had some warm days, and you know how it is to have heavy yarn on your lap and stuff. So it's a granny square type of project, but I'm also looking to start something else at the same time, small. I try not to have too many things going, and then I look at all my whip bags and then I'm like, oh my god. So anyways, that's not why we're here today. So I used a 5mm hook for my project, for most of it. And then I used Yarnspirations Caron Cotton Painterly Cakes in the colorway of Fresh Baked Bread. And it's these colors. Now I, again, wanted something gender neutral. So you have like a light cream, the grays. It's not really a yellow. It's like a ivory darker cream. And this has, let me see, 481 yards, and it's 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. I wanted to do something different than the other yarns I've been using. So I like the feel of this. And for a blanket, a cardigan, a hat, and booties, I still have this much left. So it'll go in my scrap pile. We'll see what becomes of it. I know I couldn't have got another repeat on the blanket because I did that last. I probably could have went around the border another time, but I was a little leery about having enough. So I was just like, you know what? Better safe than sorry. Let's just stop it here. So for the booties, I used Dandelion Dreamers Newborn Footsies. This is the pattern that I was looking for before, and it's free, but I can't remember where I found it. I put on 3 more rows because when I was done, it looked more like an ankle, low ankle sock type of thing. And I wanted it to fold down a little bit. And for the footsies, I used a 4.5 millimeter hook. So yeah, it's really simple. And now that I found this, I want to put it where I won't lose it. So I'll have one unfolded and one folded just to show you. Did not color control. So yeah, they're different, but so this is folded down. So, and then, you know, there is some stretch and give to it. So it's because it's a cotton to be worn. There is a free pattern on the label. So there's little socks. These take no time at all, for sure. And then for the hat, I used Yarnspiration's Teeny Weeny Crochet Cap. And they give you 3 to 4 months, 5 to 6, 7 to 9, 10 to 12. So, and it's a beginner pattern. So this is a good pattern if you want different hat size options, because it gives it to you. Yeah, the instructions are for the smaller size, and then if you want to go up, you just follow those directions, and that color coded so that you know where you're going. So did not color control this either. It just happened to work out this way, where it's this color all the way around and then the lighter color. The only thing is, like on the back, you get this, but I mean, it could be considered part of the pattern. It could go in the back. It's not hard or bumpy for the back of the baby's head or anything. If his or her head's going to be super tiny, it can get rolled up. And it's pretty much the same, yeah. Single layer. This was like single crochet type of situation. But again, it didn't take long. Once you got the pattern, you know, you just keep plugging along until you get the size that you like. Because it's hard to gauge a newborn's head. You know, it could be between this and that, and who knows. So there's those two pieces. Then for the cardigan, I used the same pattern that I did with the last one for my grandson that is due, which, update on that, he was due the end of June. And I did mention the big head situation, so I did 2 different hats, and I did mail that off, and they got the goodies, loved it all. Sometime between June 4th and 7th was the last that I heard that they're actually going to induce her because of his size. So he's coming a little early, but I mean, I know they wouldn't do anything to jeopardize her or the baby, so, you know, can't wait for that. So the cardigan was Thomas Cardigan by Crochet for Baby, and it's the same pattern that I used on this one. And even like in the last one, I did the 2 tones, but for this one, same yarn, I did not color control. I just let it go, and for the most part, it, you know, it changed colors pretty evenly, except for right there, right here, and then the sleeves. But you could definitely see the pattern, which I like. And then this is the back. And the front post, back posts was what really helped create. And on this one, I did the 5 buttons, 2 different colors that kind of match. I don't know if you can kind of see that there. So there's the tiny little cardigan. It's so tiny. But again, you know, I just you got to think back to how tiny babies are when they're newborn. And I know, the whole goal is for them to wear it once or twice, get a couple photos, and then just keepsake it, and hopefully they can pass it on to their children. Alrighty, so for the blanket, and I always wanted to make this pattern, Creative Grandma has a lot of free patterns you can actually print for different stitches. And then if you watch her videos, she can show you what patterns to use them for. But I saw this particular stitch, and then I actually came across this blanket pattern on Yarnspirations. This was like inspired by Yarnspirations because I love them and their patterns. And when they're free, you can't beat that stuff. This is called Tiles for Miles Crochet Baby Blanket. And this is where I use the 5mm hook, following the pattern. Let me see. I did not measure it, but just trying to look at my notes here. I just kept going until I felt it was a good size. Had, like I said, every intentions to use the whole cake, but I was just afraid. I wouldn't want to get 3/4 of the way around and then run out of yarn, because I had two of these, I'm pretty sure, and this is what I have left. But I feel like if you frog it, sometimes the stitches look a little bigger than they would have if you weren't going in and making a stitch. So again, I just wanted to play it careful. So here's the pattern. It is free. So I'll show you the blanket, and let me see if I can find the right way. Okay, so here we go, and then goes to there. So I'll bring it up closer so you can see it a little better. Like the Tiles for Miles, and I just let it do its thing. Oh, I know too. I also mixed in the gray. That's what it was. It's coming back to me now, because I was afraid. You know what? This is the only one that I only had one cake up. Takes me a minute. So I knew the blanket was not going to be big enough. So I had, I don't know if it was Hobby Lobby's or I had the label somewhere, but it's a soft cotton as well. It's not a kitchen cotton, and that's where the solid gray comes in. And I did it evenly. I did so much of the cotton painterly cake, and then I did a grouping of gray, 4 rows, then went back to the cotton painterly, and then 4 rows again of the solid, and then I finished off here, and then I just went around single crochet border. And even though I go up on my chain, it's still a little tight, but this, you pull it and it gives. So I think it's a good size, even if they want to use it this way. No one says you have to go this way, but love the colors. Gender neutral. It's the best that I had, because it's hard for me to not know and be able to go to, the colors that I'd like to use. So I'm not sure when the baby shower is, but that part is ready. Normally also, as you saw in the stuff that I made for my coming grandson, I like to do the stuffed animal with the Lovey, the Layette set, the velvet yarn blanket, something really super soft, or the blanket yarn, because this one is due the beginning of September. but they're going to have to wait because I want to use, if I need to use blues or pinks or purples, or I want to go that route when I do the other gifts that I do in a bundle. So I'll have the Layette set for the shower, but then once we know when he or she is born, then I'll be clacking away to get the other things done. I need to get more stuffed animals though for Lovies. When I'm at like Walmart or a drugstore or whatever, I don't think to go look at the stuffed animals. I mean, I don't want to go crazy. I still have in mind where I crochet the bigger bears and stuff that I also did to catch up. I still need to do one of those, but I don't know. You know how it is. And then looking for patterns, you can get lost in your pattern books. Like, I know why I printed these things, and I have binders full of patterns that I like and want to make. And then when I start flipping through those books, I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then next thing you know, I've got 8 project bags because there's so many things I want to make, and then I just don't get to it. So I just got to pick and choose. And with the warmer weather coming, not get into bigger, heavy projects, which brings me to what I said earlier. I'm working on a granny square blanket, which I will show in the next video. It's for my fiance. He saw something online, and it's funny how you are in the same household. If I look at patterns or see things on my phone, next thing you know, he's getting notifications about yarn sales and patterns, and it's not like it's something he looks up. So that he just happened to get one posted to him, and he was like, oh wow, that's cool. And so I knew I had a pattern, couldn't find it digging through my binders, so I just went online and actually paid for a pattern. So I'll show that. I'd like to make some loaf cats, or at least make one, because I know they're a big thing. See how that goes. But I need other small projects that are easy. I think at this point, between work and trying to get the garden ready, because we bought our vegetable plants last weekend. We've just been taking them in and out of the garage and watering them. I did an area yesterday, planted the 2 strawberry plants, and it is in a contained area, so hopefully, I know it's going to take a little bit next year or whatever to like fill in. But with all that stuff going on, I need small things that I can complete to give me a little satisfaction that I'm not a slacker some days when it comes to crochet, because nice weather, I want to be outside and puttering around and digging in dirt and soaking up some sunshine when I'm not working. I'm not sure if I showed, but on Amazon, there was a 4.25 I think I needed for a pattern, and I could not, in all of my ergonomic sets, I do not have a 4.25. So I went online, and the only way I could find it with ergonomic was from Boy, and I had to buy a set of 4. It's a 3.75, 4.25, a 5, and 5.25. And it's the bigger hooks for my hands. So I got those. And I started out with the metal hooks, which are way too thin for my hands, but I don't want to get rid of them because I think there's also one in the 4.25 of those. So I got these grips to put on there. Haven't tried them yet, but Miago, I don't know. And I couldn't tell you how much they were. Let me put that up there. But got these, and I think I showed you the buttons and the eyeballs that I got. So I also look at these books that I have laying here that I got recently with like the crochet rag dolls, and I want to make one of those because it looks like they just stuffed the face. And 30 animals and friends to snuggle. So like here's a bigger picture. I mean, there's so many in there. Oh my God. So I would love to try my hand at one of those, which it's smaller. I might. That might be one of the things I start, just to say I did it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to see what I've been up to so that I can get this put away and save it for the baby shower sometime this summer. I'd like to, again, thanks for people who return and watch me every time I put up a video, and the new friends that I am finding, trying to work my way up to 1,000 subscribers. I've noticed a lot in the algorithms, and I mentioned this before, that there's a lot, like a quarter of the people that watch are not subscribed. So if you wouldn't mind, click the subscribe button. I've also noticed on my own subscriptions that I'm like, why haven't I seen anything from this person? And I go to their channel and I got unsubscribed. So I check that regularly too. So if you think you're subscribed, you might not be. So I don't know. All right. Enjoy your weekend. I know I will. It's the first weekend I've been off, Saturday and Sunday, in months because of truck day at work. So enjoy. Hopefully we see some sun. And, like, subscribe, share if you want to, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.